You explained it very, very clear and precise.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's go ahead now and have a look at one of the most important concepts of Yoga Sutras, mental afflictions called Kleshas. The entire effort of yoga is to eliminate the 5 Kleshas. Kleshas means structural defects of mind, afflictions of mind that lead to pain and suffering. If we can get rid of 5 Kleshas, Yoga Sutra says you can have complete mind mastery. So when we did the eightfold path of Ashtanga, we felt, oh, if we can do eightfold path as it is, we don't want to do anything else, right? As Dayaji just shared. After Kleshas, you would feel, after understanding Kleshas, that, oh, if I can take care of 5 Kleshas, I don't need to do anything else in my life. So every topic in itself is so profound. And after understanding, you would feel this is everything in its whole. You cater to this and you're sorted for life. And Kleshas have been given a lot of importance in Yoga Sutras. To work on your Kleshas is very, very important as per Yoga Sutras. So let's just have a glimpse quickly. What are these 5 Kleshas? The first one is called avidya, which means ignorance, wrong, incomplete knowledge, believing in the unreal, right? This is called as the foundation, as the root cause of all the other Kleshas that exist. So there are 5, and it is said that all the other 4 are developed on the root of this avidya. So avidya is the most important klesha one needs to get rid of, which is wrong knowledge. Just have a moment of introspection right now and just reflect on this, that how much wrong knowledge we have today. I'm not talking about right knowledge, that is also there, but how much wrong knowledge do we have today? We believe in certain things that don't even exist and make those things a part of our reality. And how much we ignore that we have wrong knowledge. We never accepted that we have wrong knowledge, right? We are today so much overloaded with information. We have so much of our life experiences, right? Together, we have our own, solid beliefs and values. And some of that could be a part of this wrong knowledge, right? And this forms the foundation, the first layer on which other kleshas get developed. So Yoga Sutra says, even if you can focus on this one part, which is avidya, you are sorted mentally. So powerful. And it's very important to have right knowledge, right? And we have to see that what are the sources from where we can get right knowledge. For me, quickest example that comes to my mind is Mindful Living Community. We are here together as like-minded people, and we are doing all these trainings, or we are listening to various speakers coming up with their own beautiful concepts and learnings. What do we do? Why do we sit here as an audience? Because we resonate. We feel that maybe we can just take away one thing which we like and quickly adapt. So that is actually, having right kind of knowledge over the wrong knowledge. Just an example. So Vidya says, read scriptures, do self-study, do self-introspection, so that you can cut right from wrong. You would know what is right and what is wrong through that wisdom. So that is avidya. Second one is asmita. Second klesha is asmita, which means ego, I feeling. Right? We always operate from this feeling, whether we accept or not. I. Who am I? I have done this. I am like this. I want this. Even if I'm going and helping out somebody, it is because I want to feel happy and take pride in it. Everything is to do with I. Right? Ego. And ego, I think we all understand what ego does, right? I don't have to explain. So we all are always struggling in order to drop our egos, be more compassionate. Once we drop the ego, we are more empathetic towards others. We are more kind. We are also kind towards ourselves and then towards others. So Yoga Sutra says that drop ego let it go, drop the E and let it go, surrender. So you have to understand where you are having ego clashes with yourself and with life in general, and how in that moment you can let go. So second is called asmita. The third is called rag, which is attachment. We are attached to people. We are also attached to our possessions, to our materialistic life, to the comforts of life. And there is no harm in it, but there has to be a line drawn. There has to be a line drawn. How much attachment? What if that thing goes away? Then what? Will it bring a lot of pain? So yoga says while you're attached, same time you just train your mind and just guide yourself to also let go in that moment. Right, again, starting from your mat. The day you're not able to do your workout, it's okay. You got to have little flexibility. Don't be over attached even with your routines. I have to wake up and I have to do this. Yes, you should every day. One day, for any reason you're not able to do it, please don't have violence towards self. Don't have this self-critic complaining talk with yourself. I have not done this. I had thought. Fine, you realize you have to do it. You start doing now. But don't be too attached with your routines also. If one day you're not able to wake up on time and not able to go out for your morning walk, it's absolutely okay. So yes, discipline, but also detachment. Attached with people around, yes, you have to be attached. Yes, you have to be caring. You have to be loving. You have to be attached. But yoga says after attachment always comes despair and hatred. So never be over attached, even with your nearest and dearest ones. Let them breathe, let them live. That's why the saying goes, live and let live, right? So you're attached with the people, but still give them that space. Don't be over attached. Even with your possessions, even with your materialistic things that you own, home, your car, small things. Forget home and car. People are over attached even with their stationery, the pens, the things, the place that they sit, everything, right? Everything we are so attached with. Yoga says that after attachment would definitely come dvesh, which is the fourth klesha, which is hatred. You love somebody so much. There will be times when it will turn into some hurt. So you got to detach from your parents, from your siblings, from your near and dear ones. Have love, be compassionate, be with them, do everything, be in service, but with a thin line drawn of detachment. That's what Yoga Sutra says. And the fifth one is called Abhinivesha, which means resistance to loss, fear of death, fear of identity, fear of letting go your ego as well, fear of change. We want to be, you always have this desire for continuity, be in our comfort zone. So even fear of change, clinging to life, fear of, loss, all these things come under this fifth category of klesha, which is called abhinivesha. What is the damage that all these five kleshas do? They direct one's thinking to the wrong direction, and they lead to, there's something called as gunas. Maybe some of you know, there are majorly three types of gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas. So they say these all kleshas lead to modification of these gunas, correct? All the three gunas are important in their own sense, but in what proportion? I'm not going in depth of gunas because that is not the topic. But just to give you a small example, like sattva is to do with goodness, rajas is to do with movement, and tamas is to do with laziness and ignorance. So they say we want to have more of sattva, some of rajas as well, because only then we'll follow our passion and we'll do things as a part of activity. And little bit of tamas is also needed because then only you will rest, relax, and sleep. So even laziness is to be there, but in right proportion. So having these kleshas disturb all the gunas. Ignorance, that is the root cause, avidya. It mixes up with all the other four kleshas, right? And it leads to all the defects and pain that comes from this ignorance, avidya. And the third one is rejection of the real and projection of the non-real is the cause of all problems. So we are not able to see what is real and unreal. Most of the time we are a part of our own stories. the stories that got created, or the way when we grow, we have patterns of our thinking, right? There are stories that get collected in our mind as memories. There are some experiences that we have had in our childhood and as we grew. All those things are in the past. They have gone. Those events are gone now. They are not going to get repeated. But we are sometimes so much in the past as if it's happening to us even now, even in reality today, and that causes pain. So this says that, have a clear discrimination between what is real and what is unreal. Even the fear of unknown of the future, we are imagining as if it's real, which has not even happened to us, right? Which might not even happen, but we fear it so much in the present moment as if it's real. And that gives a way to so many mental modifications, mental defects called kleshas. So now what is the solution of all this? Understood, okay, these are the 5 kleshas. Now what is it that we can do? So it is yoga of action, right? What are the unreal things that we consider real? Spiritual versus materialistic world, worthwhile versus unworthwhile, permanent versus impermanent. Just some of the concepts for you to just self-reflect. These are self-explanatory concepts. What is it? We are always swaying between these two opposites, right? Unreal versus real. So yoga of action is also called Kriya Yoga, and it is for minds like us, that is outward going mind. So the last 3 niyamas, if you remember yama and niyama, 5 niyamas were there, do's, right? The last 3 niyamas are categorized under Kriya Yoga. The last 3 yamas were, the first one was tapa, which is self-discipline. Self-discipline, tapa. So yes, you have to have discipline in life. While we are saying be detached and don't be too harsh, yes, but you have to have self-discipline in life. You have to burn yourself in order to reach to some place. Saying that, it also means to have ahimsa, but do tapa. For example, I don't wish to do something is not a choice. I have to do, I will do. Correct? I don't wish to, for example, eat healthy food every day. No, you have to eat healthy food every day. Yes, one of the days you cannot eat, you want to indulge, then do that guilt-free, right? Don't be too harsh with yourself, be flexible. But other days you got to eat healthy food, even if you don't want to eat. That is just one small, very basic example of tapa. Your tapa could be different tapa. You want to prepare for a project, you don't want to, but you have to go through that process of reading books, understanding, attending lectures, you have deadlines, right? All this is tapa that you have to go through in order to have a very nice and pleasurable outcome. So you have to go through tapa. You have to have self-discipline. You have to have abhyasa and vairagya going simultaneously. That is the first yoga of action. The second one is swadhyay. This is the 4th niyama that we did. And together, as I said, the last 3 niyamas come under Kriya Yoga. Correct? This is swadhyay, self-study. So self-study can be by reading good books that give you right knowledge. So again, see, everything is overlapping. Avidya, we have avidya, but reading good books, good quality scriptures and good quality books, we are able to replace that wrong knowledge with right knowledge. So avidya is going away, fading away. So adhyay. Sutra says read mythological scriptures. We can also read good books. But beyond reading, we also have to read ourselves, which is self-introspection, right? Sit in solitude, sit with yourself in silence, do deep breathing. Even if you do deep breathing for 5 minutes, that's swadhyay. Because they say breath has an answer to everything. When you close your eyes and you breathe, you get answers to many things. I think some of us would have experienced a thing like that when we're just sitting and some answer will just come and we'll be like, oh, this is the question we had 1 week back. And now when I close my eyes, I suddenly got a solution of it. How? You were not even actively thinking about it, but your Purusha, something inside you which is beyond your control, right? That part knows that you have been digging for a solution like that. So when you sit, that answer will come to you. So likewise, you'll get all the solutions about all the things there in that silence. So sit with yourself, do some practice of mindfulness, meditation. Can't meditate, do some deep breathing for 5 minutes. That's also Swadhyay, right? One very powerful tool is chanting Om. Even if you are not doing Om as part of your workout every day, but if you can just sit and chant 3 Om or 5 Om any time of the day, they say Om has such beautiful power. You may just check out Mindful Living YouTube channel and check a session I did on Om chanting. It's a beautiful science of this sound of the universe. NASA has researched that this is the vibration and noise that exists in the universe. When they studied, they found this vibration in the universe. It resembled the sound of Om. So when we chant Om, our body's frequency comes in sync with the vibrations that are present in the space. And that is how we become one with the universe with this simple activity without us knowing what we are doing. For us, it's just a mantra, but it is much more beyond mantra. Even in chakras healing, they say that even if you don't understand all the chakras and how to heal all the chakras, this is Maha Mantra to heal all the chakras together at once. So if you chant Om, all your chakras get aligned instantly. That's the power. And when that happens, Swadhyay happens. Self-study happens automatically. You get answers, right? So this is the second part of yoga in action. The third one we have discussed already, surrender. Surrender also comes from the space of having non-attachment with things that we discussed, right? Otherwise, what happens? Rag and dvesh, right? Attachment and pain. So it says surrender. Surrender to whom? If you are a believer of God, surrender to God. If you are a believer of nature, universe, surrender to universe. You have to surrender to something bigger than you. And you have to believe that, yes, there exists something bigger than you, right? Something out there, some energy is there that is regulating everything. All the solar systems, the universe, the galaxies, our body mechanism, right? Which is not under our control, is run by something. There is some energy that is why I'm breathing right now while talking. While I'm talking, still my circulation is happening, the respiratory system is in place, the digestive system in place. I'm not controlling that. Who is controlling? Right? There must be some energy that is controlling everything within us and outside us. So can we surrender to that energy? Let go, do abhyasa, do whatever we can do tapa, whatever we can do, and then just surrender. Let go. Very, very powerful concept, my friends. Something which I've just very recently started practicing. Till then, I did not even know how to let go. I still am in that inquiry mode. How do I let go? Just by saying letting go is let go? What do I do to let go? I'm still experiencing it because it is an experience. Nobody can teach you how to let go. You have to understand and experience it. Ask yourself, where all I need to let go? What are the different areas of life I'm stuck with that give me pain? And how do I let go those areas in my life? My thoughts, certain thoughts I need to let go. Certain habits I need to let go. What are those things I need to let go? I'm working too hard without getting results, but it's okay. I'll do my best and let go. So surrendering is very powerful. And we have already discussed this in session 1, as one of you shared with me that this were the 3 takeaways for you. Just a quick reflection, a quick repetition to all the 3 things. Our mind needs repetition, right? We always say how you rewire mind by doing a certain thing repetitively over a long period of time. Abhyasa is repeating, repeating, repeating till our mind is trained. Our muscles are trained to do it. So repetition is the key. And that's why I thought, let me also repeat this concept for you because this is so important to correct the kleshas. The first one is Anityabha, which is the reflection technique. I'm not going in depth, just touching some pointers that we have already discussed in session 1. Reflection technique, ideally you do before you sleep. You just reflect on your day from morning till that very moment. Close your eyes and run your day visually in your head. What did you do when you got up? Where did you go? What were you wearing? Did you go in the kitchen first? Did you go in the balcony first? Did you have water? What is the first phone call you did? Then what happened? So what is the chronological order of the entire day? Just run it through in your head in as much detail as you can in 5 minutes. But the idea is to run it as an observer, as a third person, without getting involved in it. And the moment you feel you're getting involved into any particular event, be it a pleasurable event or situation or a painful one, you have to cut it right there and replay the day from the start. So, for example, I had a call with somebody and that was not a great call. Maybe I had an argument. And while reflecting, I just feel I'm getting in those, that emotion again. I'm again feeling those emotions, which means I'm again reliving that moment. I'll cut myself there and start replaying from the beginning. What happens after a few days of this practice, you understand not to get involved and let go, surrender. We were just discussing how to surrender. This is how you surrender. Your mind develops new neural pathways, new wiring happens. Your subconscious mind understands, that you don't have to get involved something that is over, that's gone, be it pain or pleasure. So that is anitya bhav. Just witnessing your day as a third person. Friends, just do it for 2 minutes, if not more. 2 to 5 minutes is all you need. Without judging the activity, just do it. This is called reflection in modern times. It was written in Yoga Sutras already so many thousands ago. It was called as anitya bhav. Then one is pratipaksh bhavna. The moment you catch yourself saying any negative thought during the day, that self-talk that we always do 24/7, right? We are always doing, even while sleeping, we are thinking, and that is, how we sometimes have nightmares or dreams, right? So our mind is working, right? Might not be so, we are not actively thinking, but mind is definitely working. The subconscious mind is working when we are sleeping. But during our wakefulness, our waking up time, we are always having this inner chitter chatter. Even now you are here, but there must be something going on in your mind. Either we are self-criticizing ourselves, or we are thinking something, or we are differentiating between right and wrong, what is good and bad, right? All the time. So Pratipaksha Bhavna says, have full awareness of your thoughts. It's okay to think good and bad, but just catch hold of all the negative things and the bad things. In that very moment, convert it to an opposite thing. So if I'm saying it's day and I should not say it, for example, I will say it's night. This, I cannot do this. I will catch hold and say, I can do it. I'm not feeling good today. Catch hold. I'm feeling fine. I don't have energy. Cut it. Pratipaksh bhavna. I have energy. So what happens, even if physically I'm not having energy, but the moment my mind believes that I am feeling energetic, suddenly my body will reflect it. Whatever happens here is reflected in the body. That's why all the psychosomatic diseases come from here. They say 90-95% of the diseases that we have today, including diabetes or thyroid or IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, arthritis, migraine, so many things they say are psychosomatic. They happen here first because of all these kleshas, and then it triggers down to the body. So Pratipaksh Bhavna, such a small, simple tool. We can't do it all the time, but even if we do 4-5 times in a day, great. Catch hold, convert it to opposite thought. And the last one is Nishpan Bhav, in which you have to just sit quietly for some time, eyes closed, and just listen to the sounds around you without getting involved. You don't have to do meditation in a way in which everything is beautiful and everything is calm and nice, meeting your requirements of focusing. Nishpan Bhav says, let it be noisy around you. It could be a clock ticking by, it could be people chatting in the distance. It could be some disturbance, but you have to just sit, observe, hear it without getting involved, let go. Just sit with yourself. Do nothing, just breathe, listen to the sounds and let go. You become observer of sound, because there would be times where things would be noisy around us. That is symbolic. By this, I don't mean sound as in sound. There could be circumstances not going as per our requirement, as per our liking. There could be situations which are very difficult, not as what we want them. There would be people saying things we don't want them to say. So there'll be noise every time. What we have to do is have Nishpan Bhav, observe. This is the outside world. This is the external world. I will just observe. I will just witness as a third person, and I will stay in my zone of calmness and peacefulness. I will not get affected. That is what Nishpand Bhav teaches us. I have a small video of this that we actually practice this in session 1. If you want, we can share that again with you. So these are the 3 things that you can do to take care of your kleshas. And friends, you don't have to take out separate time and make this like a burden or an activity. Pratipaksh bhavna you can do anytime, right? While eating, while talking, while doing anything. Nishpan bhav, if you have time, even if you could do once in a week on a Sunday evening, Sunday lunch, post-Sunday lunch, why can't you just sit for 5 minutes, rest, keep a nice pillow against the wall, sit down ideally on the floor if your back supports you, and just sit for 5 minutes. Ho gaya Nishpan bhav. That's it you have to do, right? So what happened when we get this freedom? What are the outcomes of all these actions that we discussed? We are weakening our kleshas, and a different state of mind is born. We are not working very hard. We are just doing those small actions that we discussed, and a new kind of mind will be born on its own. How will you know? You will find a shift in the pattern of your thinking. In a few days, you will just have this flutter of joy for no reason. Someday you will just think, oh, I'm feeling so lightheaded and happy today. What is it? We don't know, unknown. But yes, this is how our mind shifts. The problems that were there are still there, but you have changed as a person to deal with those problems. That shift will happen. And as yoga is experiential, we can talk enough of this, but you got to practice some things in order to have this mental shift. It leads to a superior state of consciousness. And you have to clear all the obstructions that come in the way, right? For that, and how we have discussed, this is how you clear all the obstructions. All the modifications of the mind are burnt when we do all those small things. And they say that chitta returns to its source. Mind returns to its source. Answering to one of the questions, what Vaibhav asked, what's the difference? So they say when chitta is involved in all these things, mind is involved in all these things, a lot of modifications and fluctuations happen. By setting up, reducing kleshas, mind returns to its source. And what is the source? Consciousness. Consciousness. Avidya goes away, it fades away. So we are more discriminative now. We know what is right and wrong clearly. That helps us to become a better decision maker, right? Because now we know this is wrong and this is right. So once kleshas fade away, knowledge arises. And so much of knowledge is there within us, which we don't know. That comes on the surface. And they say in Yoga Sutras that kleshas will always be there. You cannot get rid away from kleshas. Only you can weaken them. You can weaken them just like it's called a seed. Seed that will not sprout now. The seed is still there. Kleshas can still come. You cannot permanently remove them. You have to continuously live this life. This is the way of life. That's why it's called new lifestyle. This is the way of living. It's not that today for 5 days I will do when my kleshas are over and now, wow, great. No, you have to keep doing those things. That becomes the way we eat food, the way we do other things in life. This becomes our new nature, new way of thinking. That's how we want to live our entire lifespan. So what will happen? The seed of klesha will always be there, but now it will not sprout. It will not germinate into a plant. And this is called in Yoga Sutras as, I don't know how to pronounce it, Dagda Bijam, which means it's there, it will not sprout. So that's about kleshas. And I'm still left with the most interesting topic, which I thought I'll keep it for the end, and I need 10-15 minutes for that. So I will just give you 2 minutes of sharing if there is anything that you would like to share. Otherwise, keep the questions for the end. Anybody wants to ask anything, or should I just proceed and finish the topic and then we can do sharing. Then it'll be nice to speak and discuss and have questions. No time limit to that. Yes.
Okay, last feedback now. Feedback form.
All right. So Ashish, you're giving feedback. There is one more topic that remains.
Yes. Okay, you want to do after
A
that?
quick one, and it's the most interesting one. So I thought, let me keep it for the end. Let me see if you resonate with what I'm going to tell you now.
Sure.